Hello and welcome to Ilagan Whiteboard Friday. Today let's look at how the life of founders or startup changes after they have raised investment. When I say investment, this is more hinting at raising institutional rounds and some serious money rather than raising a very smaller tickets and stuff where things really doesn't change too much. So the first and foremost thing is you get review meetings with the investors. So typically we see that this is done every month on a specified date. The dates you can decide, but typically it is in first week or second week kind of thing. So you will have review meetings with the investor on every month, and you have to present the complete MIS and into whatever agreed formats with the investor. And we have covered the details of like what really goes into an MIS and stuff into a separate video. Then you have to have a very clear-cut definition of product hiring and sales and marketing depending on what stage you are in. Otherwise, things could go hazy. So the idea is what investors try to look at is to manage the company as much professionally as possible and to avoid any kind of risk factors, because the more you are clear into your approach, you would have a much more clearer and sharper focus to go after those goals. So you have to start defining roadmap very clearly, which could up for review in all the review meetings, and then you have to start making tweaks or take decisions based on that. You have to learn to manage your business plan well. Again, in one of the conditions that you see in term sheets and SHA is the reserve matters, where a lot of items are also linked to the business plan or certain deviations to the business plan. So when you start defining business plan, you have to be much more accurate, transparent and honest about it. And then in the review meetings, all have to review that and agree to the next milestones or the for the next month's target kind of thing, both long term and short terms. You should also, as you start raising, as you have raised some money, you should. It's also a good time that you can start setting up your unique culture within the organization, because startups are known for their innovative cultures, and that's one of the great way of attracting great talent. So if you have a great culture, probably you could also attract great talent. You should so the culture also spans out not just at the employee level but also at the customer level, vendor level, because everybody is a stakeholder to the organization. So you need to decide how you want to treat each and everything. So that's how also start defining your internal policies and practices, what has to be implemented within the organization. The next come is define systems and processes, and this is a very crucial part, because as you raise money, it is expected that you would actually be going for a rapid growth or a uh, exponential growth. So the systems and processes should be really supportive of such growth. Otherwise, what would happen as you start growing, after reaching a certain distance, you will see that all the systems and processes are breaking, and then you'd spend a lot of time fixing them, which would kill your time or the growth part of the startup. So the idea is to get help with the expert teams who can help you set up those systems and processes so that you can continue to focus on your core objectives. I told you that investors would need a report, and there are formats which you typically agree on during the initial few meetings, where things shape up and then arrive at what formats, what data to be reported and what not. We have covered this topic in much more detail in another video. Then there is a list of reserve matters we have, which requires investor approval, so you should be aware about them. And wherever any of those trigger gets attracted or triggered, you need to make sure that you have an approval from the investors. It's no more like your own baby, you take whatever decision you want. So if anything that falls under reserve matter or their limits, then you have to first take an approval from the investor and make sure those approvals are also filed appropriately, so that tomorrow if there is any concerns or questions around it, it can always be presented how it was approved or not. You'll also have board meetings, although review meetings are different. Board meetings is like technically once in a quarter you should be having it. So in that again investors would also be present or their representative director. So you need to conduct it in a little more formal fashion rather than the earlier days or bootstrap days of doing it a little more casual. You should also be aware of the tranches. So once you have raised money in tranches, then you should know what are the tranches linked to. Are they linked to milestone or time? And then you should be taking steps to make sure that you get the next tranche of money. Then the most important thing comes is the art of investor relationship. So maintaining a great investor relationship always help you to prosper and grow at a very rapid pace. If you don't have a friendly investor on your board, then it could cause a lot of problems. So maintaining relationship is an important piece. It is not just the money, how you can make use of the investor for better growth, or how much you can make him much more productive, or to open up new doors or connections or any kind of helps for mentorship, advisorship. You have to go and get it. They won't come to you and keep offering you help if you want this, if you want this, if you want this. You should know where you can get use of them and make sure that you take that advantages with them. Then it becomes a really great investment deal for you, because money works its own way and the connections, knowledge, mentorship works in a very different level. That's it on how the life changes after raising investments. If you have any queries, feel free to reach us at hello@elagan.com. Thank you.